to my 40s, and it's hard to give up this sport. It gives you so much, so much in terms of your fitness levels, but it's more about the connections that you have on the field and the friendships that you bond with those guys and girls, whether you play it female or male. It's those bonds that really make you keep coming back, and you want to give as much as you can to your team and the people that are playing next year.
Great to see we've got young fans in the crowd as well, supporting their family members and friends. Gladiators just biding their time until they pass the podium to collect their winners' medals and that all-important Division 2 crown.
There is the head of British American Football Association. Just saw him there giving out the medals, and he's new in post, and British American Football Association obviously had that announcement of that windfall money coming from sports lottery, 250,000 that's going to go towards building this game.
Yes.
So that's great to see, and we'll try and get an interview for him with him over the weekend.
That's Chad Ellertson, you mentioned, the new CEO of BAFA. And he meets David Butler to give him his runners-up medal. And he's done a brilliant job, being congratulated by Spoonie as well. Andrew Morgan and Matthew Davis, Morgs and Spoonie, our in-stadium announcers, have gone down onto the field to congratulate the runners-up.
It's good to see Andrew didn't get dressed up for nothing then. He's going to have a little bit of airtime. That's what I love about this game. Gladiators giving the Sandwell Steelers a clap, and they've sort of respected each other a lot during this game.
And they've already met at midfield after the game, and they're lovely. Look at Sandwell making that tunnel. You can't see it from this shot there, but Sandwell have made a tunnel now for Colchester, as Colchester come towards BAFA's CEO Chad Ellertson to collect their winners' medals. And actually, Carl, I've not seen anything like this before. Ordinarily, you know, it's respectful for the runners-up to wait, but to be this close and actually that personal, it's a lovely sight, that.
That shows some great character from the Sandwell Steelers as well. They've battled a really worthy opponent. Both of these teams, a lot of respect for each other. But you're right, Matt. I've never seen that they can put the kind of loss aside and just acknowledge the play of their opponent. That takes some character from the Sandwell Steelers. Hats off to you, lads.
No, absolutely. Spine tingling, and I don't say that lightly. This Brit Ball community, still obviously very fledgling, still has its issues to iron out in terms of where the game's going, but the signs are good, and when you see a sight like that with Sandwell applauding the victors, it's a good moment for the sport in this country.
Sure is. We're just seeing some players run over to the sidelines to say hi to friends and loved ones and family and celebrate the success with them. And this venue, it's not so big that you can't do that, right? It's the perfect size for American football in the place that we're at currently, which is, it has that sense of intimacy, but it can also hold, a few thousand people for those bigger games, that those international encounters that will be coming up later, and of course these Brit Bowl events.
And there are those family and friends cherishing these moments. And off go the Sandwell Steelers, worthy adversaries today. And we'll see them in Division 1 next year again. After a hiatus of a few years, they've built well, they've recruited well, and they've been a credit to themselves, their club, their families, and the greater Sandwell area as well. But as the final few players make their way past Chad Ellertson and collect their winners' medals, we await the announcement of the MVP.
Just a shout out as well to all the photographers down here. One of the great things about playing in the finals, you get some fantastic photos of you playing in the games, photos of the crowd, photos of the players, obviously receiving their medals. And thank you to all the photographers that come down here to provide that service for British American football. So many talented creatives as part of that group.
Absolutely, lots of smiling faces both in the crowd and on that Gladiators roster. And the party is just about to kick off here. Hopefully a lot of these fans will stay around for our next final. promises to be a cracker between the London Warriors and the Birmingham Lions on the 9v9 Women's National Final.
Can't wait, Matt.
It is joyous. It is joyous. Doesn't seem 5 minutes since we were here doing these games last year. But I tell you what, the atmosphere feels something special and something different than I've ever felt before.
That was a quality American football game as well. It was Division 2, but there's some defence going on there, some fantastic punting, some big guys on the field, some solid tackling. We're very impressed with the Div 2 standard this year.
Yeah, just a short pause here as the BAFA members run upstairs to get a few more medals for the coaching staff. That's been rectified now, so the final few winners' medals being distributed.
Yeah, don't leave the field without getting your medal, guys.
Worked hard all season for that silverware. As the coaching staff and the support crew take the handshakes from the CEO, and now it is the time for the MVP to be announced. I think we've got a pretty good idea who we think it should be up here. And the MVP for the Colchester Gladiators and the Division 2 goes to running back number 16, Kieran Polly.
Yeah, had a great game, and he was such a key part of getting his team here. Had over 100 yards in the semi-final game to get him here, and it acknowledges not just his play in this game, but his play all through the season. There were other candidates for MVP in my mind. There were some defensive candidates as well.
And the Division 2 Championship trophy held aloft by one of those candidates, Joshua Mew and Tom Burridge. And the Division 2 champions for 2024, the Colchester Gladiators. It's a long journey home, but it'll be a fun one.
Well, indeed, and there is that captain, one of the longest serving players on this team, Joshua Mews, who raises it aloft and then shares it round. Good to see him enjoying it, and he did a great job guiding this team and his defence to making some great plays. And when they needed the big play, when Samwell were knocking on the door, it was Mews and that defence that came up big to rip that ball loose.
So the publicity shots held aloft the trophy. Pictures for the scrapbook. And as much as one season's hard work ends, Carl, the step up from Division 2 to Division 1 is no joke either, is it?
There's some big teams in Division 1. There is definitely a step up from Div 2 to Div 1. I think both these teams today have shown that they can compete there, and indeed both of these teams, Colchester Gladiators, have a rich history, Matt, going back many years, and they're used to playing as an organisation